Caitlyn Clark just faced her toughest challenge yet.
7 to down 7. The Fever had all of the energy early on. Championship medal of Las Vegas on full display, and Clark dropping a 3.
In her third matchup against the Las Vegas Aces, the team that has been a thorn in her side all season, Caitlyn and the Indiana Fever were looking for that elusive win, but the Aces had other plans. Their mission? Make sure Caitlyn Clark couldn't get involved.
Patient working inside the reverse. Owen took a big hit there on Jackie Young, and the foul does come, and for the second time here in the last minute, we have seen a heavy collision.
But from the start, the Fever didn't look like a team that had lost 2 straight. Caitlyn, always one step ahead, saw the double team coming and found a wide open Lexi Hull in the corner.
Aces play second fastest, Indiana third fastest, and Lexi Hull, the league's top 3-point shooter, is now over 70% out of the break.
For the first 3 minutes, the Aces couldn't score, until Aja Wilson, the league's leading scorer, reminded everyone why she holds that title.
Here's Aja Wilson knocking down her first look.
On the other end, the Aces had a clear game plan, contain Caitlyn with pure physicality. Even though they managed to slow her down, the Aces couldn't find their rhythm offensively, unless it was Wilson putting up points.
Range, where she's 2 for 2.
With all the defensive attention on Caitlyn, her teammates found opportunities to shine.
Clark lob it up, Kelsey Mitchell wide open, and knocks down a triple.
But Wilson's mid-range was automatic. She sank her third shot in a row like she was playing horse by herself.
During that time from the three-point line.
Wilson all mid-range and all day.
Caitlyn, feeling the pressure, knew she had to get on the scoreboard. She drove straight into the double team, muscling her way to the rim.
As Clark got around Stokes, gets to the rim, lays it in, and a foul.
You know Caitlyn Clark is going to go right.
On defense, though, Caitlyn wasn't as sharp. Her defender slipped right past her, but luckily, Nalissa Smith came through to save the day.
A fun matchup as Hayes gets underneath. Recovery there from Smith.
Instantly, Caitlyn was on the move, pushing the ball in transition and sending a perfect bounce pass to Kelsey Mitchell for the easy bucket.
He's away with it. Clark turning on the Jets. Backdoor pass. Mitchell can't finish with the reverse.
It was a textbook fast break, and the momentum seemed to be shifting in the Fever's favor. But then Lexi Hull got a little too fired up. She tried to copy Smith's defensive heroics, but instead racked up 2 quick fouls.
Hayes on the aggressive drive, runs into Hull, and draws the foul.
The Aces quickly adjusted, shifting to their perimeter game, and just when it looked like the Fever had it figured out, Wheeler hit a clutch 3 to answer.
That high up on the college scoring charts as Wheeler buries a 3.
The game was starting to feel like a game of cat and mouse. One team hitting a shot, only for the other to come right back. When Caitlyn tried to join this flow with a big play ending the quarter, she got hit with a freight train of a defender. The Aces weren't letting her breathe, but in the second quarter, Caitlyn finally got the chance to finish what she started.
Championship medal of Las Vegas on full display, and Clark dropping a 3.
However, it got spoiled soon after. She went up strong again, only to be met with an Oscar-worthy flop from the defender.
Open up a lane to the rim.
So Clark pushed off on the drive.
The frustration was mounting, especially with the Aces getting away with a few no calls of their own, taking advantage to pull away.
Wilson into a double team, out to Alicia Clark.
With Lexi Hull continuing her foul streak, the Fever were in trouble. It became clear that they weren't going to win this game by matching physicality. The Aces were winning the foul game and using it to their advantage.
Right up the gut and draws the foul. Mitchell 1-on-2, but does not care.
Even a glimmer of hope with the Clark-Boston connection.
Played very sparingly out of the Olympic breaks. Boston the hesitation and bounces it home.
Was quickly snuffed out by yet another Aja Wilson dagger.
Meaning she's not trying to let her get it back. Oh, they're calling jump ball on that.
And then, in came a new face off the bench for Indiana. An odd one out, rarely seen on the court.
I don't know if Leah's going to get one or not. I'm sure she is.
Here's Wallace.
With so few minutes to prove herself, it wasn't the night for Wheeler to make an impact.
Hesitation, just trying to bully her way inside, and she stepped out of bounds. No, they call it for traveling.
Meanwhile, the other Clark, Alicia Clark, was making waves for the Aces.
She does. Kick out Clark, who hits her second three. Driving into Clark. There's Alicia Clark, 3 for 3.
Alicia Clark.
Stepping up on both ends of the floor, they were menaces on defense, while keeping the offense consistent, sinking shot after shot with ease. The Fever desperately needed a spark, and 22 delivered.
2 free throws. Clark essentially trying to run the clock down. Clark banks it up, banks it in.
Finishing the half with a brief moment of hope, but they still had a mountain to climb to turn this game around. Kelsey Mitchell took the reins to start the third quarter.
Clark, backdoor pass, Mitchell lays it in, and a foul.
Fighting her way through the Aces' scrappy defense. But the Aces were getting away with more than a few questionable plays. Some clean, some that wouldn't fly in your neighborhood pickup game. The Fever, meanwhile, were getting whistled for every little touch.
Gray being guarded by Clark, and a foul is called. Gray got a step. Clark thought she had all ball,
But even with the odds stacked against them, they clawed their way back from an 11-point deficit to make it 49-45. Thanks to Nalissa Smith's gritty play. Just when the Fever had momentum, the Aces delivered a reality check, sending Smith crashing to the floor with a block that looked more like a wrestling move than a basketball play.
It's over. Chelsea Gray, blocking foul is the call. That was a heavy collision.
But karma struck back as Caitlyn forced a tough bucket with an and one, bringing the Fever within reach again.
On Plum here. Clark leans in, draws the foul, and knocks it down.
That's what I'm saying, Erica Wheeler.
Just when you thought it reached its peak, it didn't stop there. Caitlyn gets to the bucket to try a tough reverse layup, and when she lands, the defenders decided to pull a UFC-style elbow straight to the face, sending her to the ground.
Owen took a big hit there on Jackie Young, and the foul does come, and for the second time here in the last minute, we have seen a heavy collision.
So obvious, but they even had the nerve to challenge the call. This game had officially turned into more of a street fight than basketball. With all the physical play, the Aces kept hitting their shots.
Wilson's got to get a little more aggressive.
The Fever, they needed someone to step up, and Lexi Hull fought back, getting to the line and making key stops on defense.
He's driving into Hull, who sticks right with her. Very well defended there by Lexi Hull. Clark looking ahead. It is Hull, but knocked away by Alicia Clark.
But Aja Wilson was still cooking, knocking down mid-range shots with ease, like she was shooting in her own backyard.
And one.
The game became a back-and-forth affair, but when the refs tipped the scales, it started to slip out of the Fever's hands.
It's been choppy as Smith comes in and helps, but Gray underneath gets it to go and a foul.
I think that's offense-initiated contact right there.
A clear offensive foul by the Aces was challenged and somehow upheld, leaving Caitlyn and the Fever visibly frustrated. And with 22 losing focus, it felt like the game was falling apart.
Fouls now. That was her fifth, and Colson comes away.
But right at the buzzer to end the third, Nalissa Smith delivered.
Flips it up, shot is short. Mitchell with 3, Mitchell gets to the rim, too strong. There's Smith to beat the buzzer.
Giving the Fever a tiny spark of hope, the fourth quarter started with exactly what the Fever didn't need.
Mitchell back to Clark, offensive foul.
Another foul call. Luckily, Kelsey Mitchell came to the rescue with a huge 3.
Catch and shoot, hits a 3.
But the Aces answered right back.
20 is Mitchell. It's her third 3 and an answer.
Caitlyn tried to respond, but Alicia Clark was there to shut it down, keeping the pressure on. It wasn't Caitlyn's best night, 1 for 10 from deep. So she shifted her game, attacking the rim with force. But once again, the fouls piled up, and the Aces kept getting away with similar plays that were called against the Fever.
Tonight's Clark putting on the moves, drives by Gray, flips it up. It's an offensive foul. Different plays, but if you're going to call the one not jumping into the defender, it seemed like that was kind of a similar type of action.
The Fever were fighting an unbeatable battle, and with Aja Wilson dominating from mid-range, scoring 27 points without even attempting a 3, the game slowly slipped away. The Fever ended the game with 19 fouls, and the timing of those calls blew their chances. Caitlyn struggled to get involved, and credit to the Aces. They executed their game plan flawlessly, going 3 for 3 against the Fever this season. Now it's time for the Fever to regroup and plan their revenge for their next matchup this week. Stay tuned.